I've introduced legislation that would permit private student loans to be discharged in bankruptcy like every other loan, every other private loan. This legislation will help these young people. Let me tell you one other story that was in the Washington Post. Recently, one of the headlines in that paper read, "Senior citizens continue to bear the burden of student debt." Senior citizens. The story highlighted one of my constituents, 58-year-old Sandy Barnett. As an adult, Sandy found herself in a familiar situation. Her husband was laid off, and she wanted to go back to school. When she was younger, college wasn't an option, so Sandy enrolled in a bachelor's degree program in psychology. Concerned about the debt, Sandy didn't take out any student loans. She worked full-time while in school, paid her tuition as the bills came due. Balancing work and school was difficult, but Sandy graduated in 1987 with a bachelor's degree in psychology and no student loan debt. School advisor told her it'd be a good idea to keep going to school, get a master's degree. Because the degree program required a number of internships, she decided she wanted to focus on her studies and not work. She's going to be a full-time graduate student. So then, for the first time, she took out a student loan. Sandy graduated in 1989 with a master's degree in psychology and $21,000 in debt. She taught part-time for the next 10 years at Lincoln Land Community College in my hometown of Springfield, Illinois. By then, she was divorced, and it was tough for her to make the $300 monthly payments on her student loan. It took a few years for her to find a good job, but as soon as she did, she started paying back her loans again. By 2005, she was already too far in debt to ever work her way out of it. She filed for bankruptcy. But her student loan debt was not forgiven. They're not dischargeable in bankruptcy. Fortunately, many of her other debts were relieved, and she thought she just might be able to get back on track. In 2008, she got a job with AT&T as a customer service representative, where she still works. Currently, 15% of her wages are garnished by the federal government to pay her student loans. That's $200 to $300 a month, depending on her income. Her total loan balance is now up to $54,000, more than double the amount she started with. The loan servicer will not work with her on a payment plan, and we hear that complaint all the time. What's worse is that her balance keeps going up because her payment doesn't cover the interest on the loan. You may wonder what Sandy's life is like as a 58-year-old with student loan debt. How'd she get there? Does she live an extravagant lifestyle? The answer is a resounding no. Sandy's coworkers drive her to work because the cost of gasoline is now too much for her to pay. She has no money to do anything, is what she tells us. She owns a mobile home and needs a lot of repairs she can't afford. When asked if, looking back, would she have taken the same path, Sandy says she would have absolutely not gone to school if she'd known this was going to happen. Her degree is the worst thing that ever happened to her, she said. She doesn't think she'll ever be able to retire. She said, "I just don't have any money. I have nothing because of student loans." Her advice, 58-year-old Sandy's advice to others, don't do it. Do not go to college. There's no guarantee your college degree will help you get a job that will pay for your student loans. What a sad statement. All of us tell our children, keep going, go to school, and we should. It is the right thing to do. But she has a right to be disappointed, even cynical, about what has happened to her.